all in.
Perfect.
Well,
Chef Michelle, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for
Mamo's-
having me.
yeah. Welcome
Yes.
to the podcast.
Mamo's-
Garlic Sauces. Yeah.
I don't know that I'd call me a chef. I'm a creator.
I'm calling you chef.
Okay, thanks. I'll take it.
You are
You're cooking in this picture.
This is true.
you are a creator of.
The Mamo's garlic sauce.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So Mamo's garlic sauce is you're local, obviously.
Yes, well, we're out of Lockhart. Back in the 90s, we were in Austin. We made it in Austin.
Yeah.
And from 95 to 2000, we were in about 650 grocery stores across the country. Whole Foods,
Wow.
H-E-B's, Central Markets, Randall's, Safeways, a whole bunch of other ones I can't remember. I have a list.
Right.
And then in 2000, we started off in a little bitty 500 square foot plant. And then we ended up in a 4,000 square foot plant with 20 full-time employees and a chef from UT and permanent demoers who went across the country. But we only had one product, which was the gold, and one size.
This is the gold?
That's the gold. We had the 8 ounce. That's all we had. So in 2000, and we were really going strong. I was on QVC. I was on several local news shows, a couple of cooking channels. We did the Gilroy Garlic Festival. We were going strong. And then in 2000, all of the grocery stores apparently decided at the same time that they would stop using DSD, which is direct store delivery, and they only wanted to use distributors.
Oh.
So we contacted distributors, and the distributors said, "Oh, you've only got one product. I don't think so." And I said, "Well, I didn't even mean to have this one. It's not like I created." So of course I don't have any more because this was serendipitous.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes. So let's take a quick moment to hear from our sponsors.
Ranch Rider Spirits.
You've got the Tequila Paloma.
Yummy, I do.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to open the Ranch Rider Ranch Water.
Ranch water. Me too. Ditto. What do you think?
I think it's really tasty.
Go good with some garlic. Yeah.
Well, what doesn't, right?
It's true.
It's tasty, and also it's thirst quenching.
It's like very perfect, especially if it were summer right now.
Now, we're not supposed to talk about it,
Oh,
but there is a unicorn.
There is a unicorn. It is the Ranch Rider and Seeger collaboration, which is the Ranch Rider with a jalapeno kick.
Oh, it's got a little kick to it, a little spice, a little tequila.
now that sounds like something that's up my alley.
Yeah, I was out there with George today actually picking up some Ranch Rider, and he said the only reason that it's not a regular, because there's the Chilton Tequila Paloma and the Ranch Water, but he just said it takes longer to make this one, so it's like a special collaboration.
We've been talking about it for a while, and honestly, I've only
He's been
seen,
talking about it.
It's my favorite, and I have purchased them once. I got 4, so it feels special to have one that I'm looking at right now.
Well, that's really groovy, and I love jalapenos. But having said that, this is awfully yummy.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is really good. They're all good. I don't think you can go wrong with Ranch Rider.
Definitely. Thank you, Ranch Rider Spirits.
Thank you very much.
So back to garlic talk with Chef Michelle. No, well, so that's like, so you like kind of like made it, right? And you were there where you were probably pretty happy with where you guys had made it, but before 2000.
Right. Well, so in 91, I created the sauce, the gold, to put on a pork roast loin.
At the house or
at
just
the house?
Okay, gotcha.
My husband and I were married 13 years before we decided to have a kid, so we did a lot of entertaining. So I was constantly cooking. We were having poker parties. We had big get-togethers, dinners. So I was really bored with the old olive oil rosemary combo. So I don't really remember because it was 91, but somehow I threw those things together and put it on the pork roast, and it was fabulous. Well, then we started just using it at poker parties to like dip bread in, and we started using it to dip our veggies in, and it just became ubiquitous in our house. And my husband bugged me from 91 to 95 to put it on the market.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, he was like, "This is so, so good." And friends too, "You have to jar this." And my my normal comeback was, what am I, Kraft? I mean, I'm not jarring anything.
Right.
So in 95, he went out and found us a little plant at the old, was Hill Rylander's Farmer's Market on Burnett. Do y'all remember that? It's not there anymore, I don't think. But
What year was this?
it was 95.
Okay.
It's a farmer's market on Burnett that had been around there forever. And he was in some kind of litigation with the city, so he couldn't offer any long-term leases. So we were able to find a little 500 square foot kitchen for on a month-to-month lease.
Yeah.
And it was only $50 a month. So it was like,
Wow.
okay, we can do this. And then my husband found jars and labels, and he did all of the legwork. So I didn't have a choice. We started out at Quality Seafood.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And after that, we took it around to H-E-B, Whole Foods, and people just kept picking it up, and the stores kept picking it up. And then people would try it at our demos, and they would go home and they would ask their store to pick it up. So that's how we were getting picked up across the country.
The word of mouth.
Word of mouth. And see, back in the 90s, there was no internet. I mean,
Right.
it was real spotty.
Yeah.
and not like it is today. And farmers markets weren't as ubiquitous. Really, a lot of people just were becoming aware of like a vegan lifestyle.
Yeah.
And garlic and all the health benefits that the ingredients that we use offer. So, that was a learning process for everyone, including the customer.
Right.
But in 2000, since the distributors wouldn't pick it up, we went ahead and pulled it.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have a choice.
Sure.
And I didn't have anything else. I mean, like I said, I serendipitously created that one.
Well, at that time, I mean, you had to have been in a good space with it, right? I mean, that must have been like a heavy blow, right?
It was a real heavy blow.
Yeah.
We actually, people from across the country kept calling and asking if they could invest in the company.
Oh, that's got to feel good.
Oh, yeah. So my dad, CPA and entrepreneur, put together a high-risk prospectus and sent it out to all these people who were asking if they could invest. So at the end of the day, we had 109 investors. Only 50 of those were friends and family. 59 of those were people I'd never met from across the country.
Yeah, that's cool.
And of course, there wasn't Skype and there wasn't FaceTime, so
You still
there
got to
was
dial with your finger.
dialing with the finger, all that stuff. So we raised $2 million.
Wow.
And
That's-
that allowed us,
And what year was this?
This was, I'm going to say this is like 96, 97.
Oh, wow.
My memory,
That's
all
good, though.
happened in 5 years. Yeah.
Sure.
And so we had to pull it. We ended up selling it to a company, I'm embarrassed to say, in New Jersey. And I know.
Not with the same name, though.
No. Allied Old English, they've been around since the late 1800s, and their deal is blackstrap molasses. Well, they expressed an interest in getting their foot in the door of the niche food industry. So they were extremely excited to purchase our product.
Okay.
And to purchase it from us. Luckily, my husband, brilliant that he is, he put a clause in the contract that said if it's not properly marketed the first 2 years, it will revert back to us.
Oh.
Well, I went to New Jersey, spent 2 weeks up there reconfiguring the recipe because we went from making 5 cases in 15 minutes to 200 cases in 15 minutes because they were all automatic. We were only semi-automatic. And
So the quality dropped as well.
no, actually, the quality didn't drop at all because I was there for 2 weeks teaching these people how to make it.
Oh, okay.
What happened was they didn't market it. They didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
They were still in the jelly black molasses thing. And no matter how much I tried to tell them and how much I tried to help them, it just wasn't sinking in. I mean, Mamo's is a little bit ahead of its time,
Yeah.
honestly. So we got the product back because they didn't fulfill their
That's awesome.
In 2 years.
yes. And so we
So
got
did they not market it at all?
No.
At all? Wow.
No.
Well,
I mean,
that-
for a
that-
while I worked for them and serviced some Austin people, like Whole Foods and stuff.
Right.
But no, they didn't really know what they were doing,
Yeah.
which is a shame. And in retrospect, I guess I should have stayed up there longer and really taught them. But I mean, it's sort of hard to teach. And again, they weren't in the gourmet food industry. So we got the product back, but there was nothing we could do with it. So and I have a patent on it. So I wasn't worried about. I know that was a really groovy win for us. So anyway, I wasn't real worried about anybody trying to make it. So we just sat on it, and I just made it at home. Oh. And then in 2013, I said, you know what? Maybe I ought to put the recipe on YouTube. And my husband said, yeah, no, I think that's a bad plan. Right. So we called Lori with Sass. Do you know Sass salad dressings?
Okay, yeah.
So she's a good friend of mine, and he called her, and so she started making it for us. And actually, there are some labels out there with my face on the label, which is kind of scary. But anyway, so she was making it for us, and then it turned out that her machine didn't have the right kind of blade, and they couldn't retrofit the kind of blade we needed. So it was coming out too crunchy and too dark.
Oh, we talked about this a little bit.
Oh, okay. And so I pulled it again.
Right. Because somebody found a crunch. They were like, I like the crunchy flavor.
Yeah.
Right.
And we had even, back in the 90s, we didn't realize we had to sharpen our blades because, well, we didn't know what we were doing.
Right.
So it was smooth. And then people would say, oh my gosh, crunchy, I love it. And we were like, what is going on? And then Brian finally said, maybe we should sharpen the blades. Right. But we toyed with the idea of even coming out with a perhaps crunchy and smooth.
Like peanut butter.
But we blew that off.
Okay.
So anyway.
Man, that smells so good. I like the vinegar.
Thank you. The balsamic vinegar. And that went through a few iterations as well, because I started out with red wine vinegar, but it didn't work. And, so I played around with it just a bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that is what happened with, I forgot where I was.
Oh, with, we started sharpening the blades. And
So, exactly. So I took it back. We got it back from Sass. And I just sort of sat on it. And then my husband and I moved to Costa Rica in 2016. And I came back in 2017 to sell our house in Austin.
And live in Costa Rica? Wow.
And while I was back here, he died in Costa Rica.
So sorry.
Yeah, thanks. I know it sucks. We were married for 36 years.
I see his picture right here.
Yes, I dedicated the book to him.
Look at those daggers.
I mean, what about those burns too?
Yeah.
Yes.
The lamb chops.
Well, but what now that he's gone, especially pushing you like that, right?
Well, no, so we were just chilling, and we had even toyed with the idea of maybe making it in Costa Rica, but he died in 2018, and so I was totally lost, and my daughter was in college, and so I was just here, saying, what am I going to do now? I've been with this guy for 36 years. So anyway, I started the garlic sauce again.
Brought it back?
I did. And I was living in Lockhart after Brian died. I went to live with my friend Christy, who is now my business partner.
Christy.
And I was living with her, and her one of her friends told the culinary room about it, and they called me, and I was like, sure, I can do that again, because they loved it as well. So anyway, I started making it again, and at first I was just making little 1.5 ounce jars.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that didn't last very long.
Like little sample. People just...
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah. But I mean, but I had a friend who said, you need to treat this like gold, and blah, blah, blah. So I did all that, and people immediately were, this is great. You need to come out with new sizes, different sizes. So I did that. And then in 2019, I discovered there's such a thing as black garlic.
Yeah.
Did not know.
Oh, it's amazing. So do you make your black garlic?
Oh, no. The process is way too involved. We get it from these two guys in Wisconsin who have owned this black garlic company for years and years.
I think I would trust black garlic coming out of Wisconsin for sure. Right? Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah,
and what they do is they put it through a 120-day fermentation process.
Nice.
So and it goes through all the humidity and the heat and the math and all that good stuff. So when we get it, it comes to us peeled and ready to go.
It's easier than the other garlic.
I bought this.
The gold garlic.
Well, we don't have to peel our garlic, so either way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I I bought this black garlic. I think I got it from like Costco or something. But it was these cloves that were like, they're individual. I don't know. They probably grow them just for this, but they're these crazy like individual like black garlic cloves. It's fantastic. One of my buddies makes it. He makes some black garlic here in town.
Josh?
Okay.
Yeah, Josh.
He does make it?
He makes it in his kitchen.
But, okay, just for him.
Well, he uses it for some of his stuff. Yeah, he does. He and I did the fermentation festival.
Oh,
So we're both into fermentation.
Because that's like aging, like
it's a really cool process the way that he does it.
And I've been asked why don't we do our own fermentation? But honestly, I've got my hands full and I don't need that on my plate.
Standing on the shoulders of giants. I mean, outsource it. Why not?
Exactly. And these guys do a good job. And we did a lot of research before we found our vendor.
So which one of these is your favorite?
Well, now that's a toughie.
Yeah.
so
They're
you
both your
offer the
babies.
gold and the black. That's the names?
Yes, Mamo's gold and Mamo's black. The gold has always had a special place in my heart and my mouth, and it's super versatile. And plus, when you don't feel like chopping up your own garlic, which I never do, it's great just to chunk some of that in.
Right.
I made the black, and I was completely astounded by the difference in the flavor profile.
Yeah.
They're nothing alike.
Everything's the same except for the garlic.
Everything is the same. I've got a patent on the process. It's made the same way. The only thing that's different is the garlic. And you've tasted black garlic, you said, and a lot of people haven't, and I hadn't before. It's complete. It tastes like it's made from a completely different
sweeter,
company.
yeah.
It's a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
That's because the fermentation process, when it goes through that, it breaks down the cholesterol in the garlic and brings out the natural sweetness of the garlic. And then because it's fermented, I think it picks up the balsamic vinegar flavor a lot more than the raw.
Okay.
But
So this is raw, because I was wondering that too.
yeah, no, nothing is cooked. They're both cold processed.
Okay.
That's why we have
and
such
the
a
almonds as well.
almonds as well. That's why we have such a good shelf life, because they all act as natural preservatives. And it doesn't have to be refrigerated even
I
after
saw
opening.
that. Yeah, you get a year's worth of use out of it.
Yes,
and
sir.
hopefully it doesn't last a year though.
If it's lasting people a year, then
Yeah,
I've
like-
not done my job.
They're not doing it right.
And they're not eating enough.
Right. It says the more you eat, the more you eat.
It's true.
Well, you
And-
mentioned health benefits.
Yes.
So, like, is this because I know, like, if I'm not feeling well, I mean, I don't know if anyone else does this. I'll just like chop up some garlic, put it under my tongue, and just swallow, some water
Smash
before
a clove,
bed.
Eat a whole clove. Chase it with orange juice.
Before bed, because I'm like, well, just take a tablespoon.
Absolutely.
I've been looking around.
might just
I've been
do
looking
that,
around
like,
for a
with peanut
spoon.
butter.
I've been looking around for a spoon.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Seriously,
I should have brought one, a tasting spoon. I have them. So the black, the gold has the more of the traditional garlic flavor, obviously.
right.
And then the black, I don't know, it's got like a fig consistency and it's a little bit sweeter. And at first I have a lot of customers who use it instead of using Nutella,
Oh,
which is, I know, because Nutella is full of a bunch of junk.
yeah, but Nutella on like little breadsticks or
Fruit.
fruit. Mm-hmm. Okay, because so if you make a steak, I'll ask this without Danny in here because maybe I should know. So if I like, sear off a steak, get it where I want, can you like paste this on like peanut butter?
Yes. Well, so you can cook with it or use it afterwards.
What do you like?
I like to cook with it.
And then I think I would like both.
Well, that's the thing. My husband I would cook with it and then he'd still use it to dip in and put
Yeah.
big chunks on his
Yeah.
spaghetti and stuff. So
I
do
was
too.
thinking like, because when I do a steak, I'll like get it to where it's going to rise right in temp and I'll wrap it in foil and just like wait like 15 minutes. Like it would be perfect to like paste this all over it, then wrap it up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Right. And then go like, get everything else ready.
Yes.
And then come back and you just got this like garlic.
I'm going to have to try that recipe. I like that.
It's funny because I have a steak sitting on the counter right now, waiting to be cooked. So this is kind of perfect timing, and that wasn't really planned, but what?
It worked out. And the black, of course, like I said, I didn't even know what to do with it at first, but now I like to spread it on bagels and spread it on crackers, eat it with, it's good on avocado toast. It's good with tomatoes. But I really found out it's great as a glaze.
Oh yeah.
So I used to hate meatloaf because ew. And also most people put on meatloaf, the top is always ketchup
Tomato,
and brown
yeah.
and brown sugar.
And bacon.
Oh, so I took the black whisked it with some tomato sauce, and put that on top of the meatloaf, and then used the gold in the meatloaf itself.
Right,
and now I like meatloaf.
So is that in your cookbook?
God, I hope so. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
I saw it with the glaze. I was looking through your recipes. Which one's your favorite recipe in here? Do you know?
Well, before we get into your favorite recipe, the cookbook.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is like, wow, when we originally met, you were like coming out with this cookbook. And I was like, well, you got to come in and talk about it. But so how does one attain the cookbook?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's available online
Okay. On the website?
on the website.
That's mamosgarlicsauce.com.
Yes. And then we also sell it at the markets.
Okay.
We're also in 2 stores, Good Things Grocery in Martindale and the Hoekstra Brothers Liquor Store in Spicewood.
Okay.
And they also have copies of the cookbook.
Nice.
We're about to be picked up by other stores.
Good.
And so we'll do that as well.
Look,
Yeah, 'cause,
savory
like-
meatloaf.
Oh, I put it in there. Yay me.
Good job.
So if you do, you can order on your website
Absolutely.
for like delivery.
Absolutely.
Because this, like folks listening, all right, you don't have a jar of this in front of your face where Danny's grabbed 3 spoons, but like it's like so tempting. Like I could probably just be like, instead of ice cream, like
Oh, totally.
sitting on the couch.
You could put this one on top of ice cream, I bet.
Absolutely.
It's got the fig flavor. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got not a fig flavor, but the consistency. Yeah, try some.
I go black first.
Okay.
Go black first.
Absolutely.
You know what they say?
We're about to find out.
You might never go back.
Well, interestingly enough, there are some just diehard black garlic sauce fans, and there are a lot of people who bought the gold forever and ever and ever,
Oh,
and
and
now they love the black.
So
It's actually very mild. It's not real heavy, like.
first time black for me. Black garlic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so
Yes.
good. It's so good.
Thank
So
you.
how true is the taste to just an original like black garlic clove?
It,
Well, a black garlic clove, in my opinion, tastes like a garlic gummy, and I think
the finish, the finish on it right now is what you really get the black garlic on the finish.
it's multi-layered. I think.
But yeah, I mean, at the beginning you get the acid, you get the nuts, and then
I do, yeah.
and on the finish
I like it.
you get that like soft, sort of like sweet, kind of like almost like that earthy flavor.
Yes,
Yes.
the earthy flavor, and so I've really been
Umami.
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 Yes, umami.
That's really
umami,
good.
umami. I've been cooking a lot with that steaks, pork, putting it in my ground beef for meat sauce and chili. I still cook with the gold a lot.
Yeah.
But the black just adds something really nice, especially to meat. Oh, and it's great on salmon.
Oh, salmon. See, I was
Or a
thinking
a bolognese sauce with that in there.
maybe
oh, yes,
it was just
that's what I
Is it in
use
there?
is the black. Yeah, it's just called gold meat sauce though, because I use the gold and the black. but-
Gold meat.
I could see that being incorporated with sushi.
Oh yeah, with
Oh, yeah,
like
totally.
Yeah.
like you rub it on top, like mix it with some soy, and then put that on top of like a
That does sound
torched
good
tuna.
right there. Yeah. Oh God.
Wow.
And it's so thick that it's really easy to mix with, well, like soy or tomato sauce. One time I mixed it with lime juice, brushed it on some catfish, and then pan fried the catfish and had catfish tacos.
And so the way that it is, you could probably take it on some pretty good high heat, and it's not going to burn it too.
Exactly. Either one.
Yeah.
The garlic.
cool. That's
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
The reason we got the patent, oh, and let me tell you, back in the 90s, there was no internet.
Right.
So, and there was no Google. I don't even know if Ask Jeeves was around back
No,
then.
I think it was AOL search.
Oh, okay. And it was probably dial up.
I know. I want that sound effect to just play at any moment here.
That would be great. But yeah, so there was, I forgot what I was saying again.
We were
Please
talking about
leave-
putting it on
You
top.
know
We
what
were talking
just-
about high heat. We were talking about
Oh, thank you.
patent.
Yes. So the patent.
Right.
So the reason I got the patent was because of the process. And my husband and our plant manager had to go to the library, and they were there for about 2 weeks and research, Dewey Decimal Style, all of the garlic sauces that had ever been made and published in any cookbook, magazine, anything that was close to ours. Then I had to make it all and present it to the board at the patent committee.
Wow.
And when they discovered that mine, it was completely different and nothing like these other sauces, that's when they granted us the patent.
And how long does that patent last? You got to renew it.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that. It's online at the patent website.
Have you
place.
renewed it?
You
Yes,
can't.
she has renewed it.
Yeah,
everybody.
So, all right. Anyway, yes, it's still ongoing, but so anyway, the garlic, because of the process I came up with, and don't ask me how because I don't know, the garlic and the almonds emulsify to create this. It's almost like a dough, and so I wouldn't say impervious, but pretty impervious to high heat.
Right.
It doesn't burn because it's like, I don't know. I'm not a food scientist, so that's really all I know.
That's a challenge. Like we were just talking about steak. I have a steak sitting out on the counter, right?
I saw it.
Okay, good.
We're gonna put this on it.
Just trying to remember if I pulled it. Yes. But
We're going to cut it in half, and we're going to do half with the black and half with the white.
Excellent.
Or golden.
Yes, excellent idea.
But that's a challenge, if
And
you're
this is-
working with like a whole clove of garlic and you throw it in at the beginning
Have you
of
ever
like
bit
cooking
into a
a
clove of
steak.
garlic?
I have.
Okay, so this is nothing like that.
No,
this
it's-
is the golden.
Yeah.
I was thinking that it was like roasted or something, but it's raw.
It's raw.
It's perfect.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the other ingredients just temper.
These may
good.
disappear tonight, Jason. I'm just letting
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to owe y'all
that's-
some larger jars. We sold out everything at the market, and that's what I had.
I will
Well, good.
use
That's
these to
what you
cook
wanna
all
do.
of my dinners.
Okay, good job. I like it.
I cook a lot of dinners.
Because Mamo's garlic sauce even makes icky stuff taste good.
Well,
Well, and the reason I say that is because I've never been a big adult veggie fan, like squash and beets and
that's all
broccoli.
delicious stuff.
Well, it is now that I'm cooking it in the Mamos.
I bet it'd be
Yeah.
really good. I mean, making like a vinaigrette with this.
Excellent with the gold.
Oh my God.
And then taking the black and whisking in some olive oil and then tossing the veggies in it and roasting them
Black
in the oven.
garlic vinaigrette too.
Oh my gosh. And black garlic vinaigrette and on Brussels sprouts. Oh,
Yes.
So you take the Brussels sprouts and you throw them in the fryer and you fry them till they get a little caramelized. And you pull them out and you put this on there and you toss them in the bowl and you serve them.
That's it.
that sounds like a good plan, but that is not what I've been doing.
What have you been
I
doing?
have been whisking it with olive oil, tossing the Brussels sprouts in everything, and then roasting it.
Okay.
Let the heat from the veggies cook it.
I
Exactly.
really like how
will.
it works both ways, right? Because it's already good.
Yeah, it's
Because if you just
fantastic.
throw raw garlic, like if you throw it on some potatoes while they're steaming, it'll steam the garlic too if it's like chopped up pretty well.
One of my favorite pasta dishes is called aglio olio, right? And it's you cook your pasta, and then in a bowl while your pasta's cooking, you put your tomatoes and your parsley and your garlic and your olive oil and a little bit of pecorino cheese, and you dump that hot pasta straight out of the pan into that. And then you toss it, and the heat from the pasta and the boiling water and stuff cooks all of that
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
and it marries all those flavors. But this,
Yeah. This is
Man, I should have
mad.
talked to y'all before I did my cookbook.
man,
well. There's just so
I'm
many
excited.
uses, right?
There are, and when you cook with it, the garlic does cook into the food.
yeah,
Which makes it really nice because it just sort
it's
of.
perfect. I mean, you
See,
get, you
I
get,
think I'd be a before and after guy.
That's my husband was before and after.
Yeah.
you get a perfect homogeneous.
That's it. That's what they said in the patent. Homogeneous.
It's perfect.
Yes.
Good work. I'm
but
impressed.
but yeah, the
thank you.
cookbook is very cool too. I'm not gonna give.
Look, it's the bolo.
Yeah, the bolognese.
It's my favorite. You know, the best thing in the morning after you make it the day before, you take it and you put it in a tortilla with some cheese and eat it cold, a cold bolo taco. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm going to have to try that. Wow, y'all do a lot more experimenting than I do.
Yeah, no, I've done that with like meatballs, just like throw
Cold spaghetti sauce is so good.
meatballs
with
the
a
gold.
taco though. It was
Oh, with the taco.
Yeah, you
I've
think
got a
about like
friend who
cold
does
pizza,
that.
right?
Which
but
I
you do it
love.
you do it in a tortilla.
I like that. I like that.
Sky's the limit. But this is there's, I mean, so you don't call yourself,
No, real quick before I forget, because
Yeah.
y'all have already seen me. What I'm doing in the last few minutes. The gold works as a great binder. So I use that in my meatballs
Okay, cool.
instead of eggs. Mhm.
Oh my God. That
So
is
because
so good.
they're vegan,
Right.
So you've got the option, and
Have you tried it with like the vegan meats like the Beyond or the Impossible
I've tried it with
or
Morning Star.
Yeah.
So where do you stand with like, do you eat meat? Are you?
I do eat meat.
But I'm sure a lot of your fans or people who buy this are vegetarian.
You know, there are a lot of vegetarians and vegans, but there are so many people that are on specific diets, like the paleo diet, gluten free,
This is friendly
keto.
to all of them.
It's all kinds of diet friendly.
Yeah.
So some people don't eat garlic for vegan, and I don't understand that. Have you heard this before? Yeah.
What?
those people need to like read up on what garlic is. Can they eat onions?
I think it's onions and garlic. I think those
Why?
are. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
That sounds more macrobiotic than vegan.
I don't know. They might have looked at like a picture that somebody drew of like garlic with like eyes on it and the arms, and they're like, it must be alive.
Well, I do know we used to sell in a macrobiotic store in the 90s. It was in Houston called
So it
the
was like
Movable
alive?
Feast. Well, nothing could be cooked.
Right.
And also, we sourced our garlic from Gilroy. I can't remember. A lot of the people in the store looked like they were ghosts. I mean, they needed some protein or something. But it was all about that. And they could eat the garlic, but there were a whole bunch of other things they couldn't eat that
Yeah.
were vegetables that did not make any sense to me.
Yeah, so I see it. It's religious. It says avoiding onions and garlic is usually motivated by a religious
I've heard
or
that,
cultural
yeah.
understanding.
I've heard that.
Oh, I
not
hadn't heard that.
scientific vegetarianism.
That's like, is that like Muslim or like, it's
It's,
like Indian maybe?
No, it
As
can't be
Krishna
Indian.
points out, both certain Hindus and Jains avoid garlic and onions.
I remember hearing that. I was like, how? Like I could not eat meat. I could not eat garlic.
That's the thing.
Like,
And
I
it's
could not
so-
eat steak. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm right there with you on that one. And fish and oysters and,
all
shrimp
of it.
and chicken. And
You know, a mignonette with this for your oysters.
I don't know what a mignonette
So a
is.
mignonette is the like, you know, whenever you get the oysters at the nice restaurants and they give you like the little vinegar sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Mignonette.
Oh, so what I've been doing is just dipping them straight in.
Straight in there.
Yeah. I also, I put a little dab on them, you know.
Little dabble, do you?
And well, sort of. Then you want more.
The more you
'Cause
eat, the more
caution,
you
the more
eat.
you eat, the more you eat.
know-
That is the caution.
Is it? There's just a dab. That's a show on YouTube, right? Is that with Sean when he does the interviews with a hot chicken?
Just a dab.
Just a dab.
I haven't seen that.
There should you. I'm just thinking.
I'm gonna look it up. Just
Like,
a
there's-
dab.
Shouldn't there be a hot sauce? Mama's hot sauce.
Well, I do make.
Have you messed with this?
I have, but there are so many hot sauces on the market.
Yeah. Well, that's true. They have like dedicated stores.
Yeah, that I wouldn't even try to get my foot in that door.
Carolina Reaper.
Yeah,
right,
but
right
like-
in there.
Oh yeah, well, or one more like approachable, like where you're going for the flavor. But it's so this cookbook, you don't call yourself a chef, although you're making food for a living.
That's
So-
true, but I never actually went to school. I mean, I did go to school to the
Neither
University.
did Thomas Keller.
Well, that's good to know. But no, I went to the University of North Texas and I got my degree in English.
Hey,
So-
go Eagles! I graduated from UNT
Did
as
you?
well. Yep.
So yeah,
Mean green.
so I can write a mean cookbook and a good letter.
Mean green
But-
touch of that.
Mean green.
cookbook. Yep. Heard.
But no, most of those I've just come up with myself. I don't consider myself a chef because I'm not trained.
Well, that's what I was curious. Did you work with anybody to come up with this book?
You had a chef from.
No.
You said you had a chef from.
UT.
Oh, that was
UT.
yeah, but that was a while ago.
That was in the 90s.
Okay.
And when I did my first cookbook, which was super rudimentary,
right.
that was, we used to, so I did a cookbook. It had no pictures. It was just a soft cover. It wasn't bound like that. It was like just stapled.
Yeah,
And
I've made those
yeah, okay.
when I was a kid.
So, right?
Right.
So it was $4.95, and you could get it for free if you sent in 2 proofs of purchase.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember those?
I
Well,
love
probably
those.
too young.
No.
But
Are you kidding? Frosted Flakes? You're cutting it out and you never send it in.
so that's how we got our cookbook. So when I was doing this cookbook, I set it up on my computer to do it just like the other cookbook, and I took it into the publisher, and the gal said, "You don't have to do this. We have software programs for that." And I was like, "Wow,
Right,
we
right.
are in the future."
We are in the future.
But they did a great job, and I had fun. And
Yeah.
there's lots of fun stuff in it,
Well,
not just
that's-
recipes.
It's what I'm intrigued with is because just having it here and thinking about what I'm making for dinner tonight, you know, I'm thinking like you should get people who are eating this to like submit their recipes.
Well, that is my next. First of all, a lot of people submitted their recipes for the cookbook, and I gave them credit in the cookbook. And then my next venture is to have them submit recipes online on our website. Absolutely.
Here, Danny's got a sample that
Hold on, we need to listen.
We need a little reminiscing here.
For those that don't remember,
Wow, that takes me back.
And then somebody picks up the phone, and you're like, "Get off the
Get off the
I'm,
phone.
I'm trying to."
My picture's only 1/3 downloaded.
Right.
And then it messes you up, and it's all bad.
Oh my God, how far
Oh my
we've come!
God,
That
I
we're sitting
know.
here doing a podcast. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It is
It's the
crazy.
future.
It is. We're in the future.
Although sometimes I think we're in the 1800s.
You
but
know,
either way.
you say that, but like we were watching Ready Player One, my daughter and I.
Mm-hmm.
She's only 6, right? And she's because that's like the kids born in 2027. I think it takes place in 2040. But Back to the Future, they thought we were going to have flying cars right now.
Oh, yeah. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Because my daughter's like, well, how long until it's like this? This is what she's asking me. She's like, how long? How long
Well,
until we have the headphone?
Refer her to Star Trek, because if you'll recall, are y'all Trekkies?
I'm not.
Okay, I'm
a Star
huge-
Wars guy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool too. But I'm a huge Trekkie, and I mean the original, Captain Kirk and stuff. But anyway, remember they had the phones and the
Yeah.
all kinds of
Beam me up,
futuristic.
Scotty. Beam me up, Scotty.
Well, yeah, we don't have that yet, unfortunately. But
But actually, we're in 2021, and in the 80s, I guess it was in the 80s, they made a movie, Mad Max, and it took place in 2021.
Mad Max took place in 2021.
2021.
It took
Oh
place
my-
in 2021. Oh, did it?
Because I
No
watched
shit.
all the Mad Max and Road Warrior, and
Welcome
then
to
there was
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome, and then that last Fury, Road of Fury.
That
or
was
whatever
a
they
cool
did.
one, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I didn't know that was 2021.
2021.
I didn't either.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if we see something along those
I mean, hey,
lines.
but no, I mean, everything's going to be normal this year.
Just like stock up on the garlic, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I love that it doesn't need to be
The more you
refrigerated.
eat, the more you eat.
Sorry.
That's a warning. Caution.
No, that's great. That's great advice, right? It's more advice, right?
It really is. And just in case you get addicted, actually, that's not true. People do get addicted. We do have an anonymous garlic sauce group, and we meet
GA?
once a week.
GA.
GA, Garlic Sauce Anonymous. And we meet once a week, and we cook and eat the garlic sauce.
I want to come.
Okay, I really just made that up. But
Let's start it. It's
I
starting.
think
My
we
name's
should.
Jason. I'm a garlic-holic,
I go for the gold.
right?
I like the blog.
You
Yeah.
know, it was last year that I hit rock bottom.
When did you
by
know, Jason? When did you know?
I was surrounded by 1,000 cloves of garlic. I knew I had a problem.
All these empty jars.
Well, it's funny because my daughter, who is a filmmaker, is going to do a commercial. She was going to do it, but then the dumb zombie apocalypse happened, so
Yeah,
she
yeah.
couldn't get any of her actors. But
Pain in the ass.
yeah, big pain. But she is going to do a commercial that shows somebody coming in and like at the store, and you see the garlic sauce, and they take it, and they see the warning, caution: the more you eat, and they take a little bite out of it, and then all of a sudden you see them with like tons of empty jars around
Yeah.
them. Something to that effect.
Right, and then like
They need a
hey,
bed
my name
with all
is
garlic
so-and-so.
sauce all over it.
I'm in the GA meeting, right? Telling their story.
Exactly.
Garlic's Anonymous.
Garlic's
And a lot of people can usually find me on the street corners in a trench coat with jars of gold on one side.
What color do you want?
Like on the other.
But you know, I'm sorry. I keep going back to like. So where can people find this? Unless you mentioned two farmers markets right now.
Well, we're in several farmers markets.
Mm-hmm.
We do the New Braunfels Farmers Market on Saturdays.
So every Saturday, someone can go pick it up, and that's a good drive, right?
It is.
And then
It's pretty.
then the third Saturday of every month we do Breed and Company.
So Breeding Company.
That's in
right.
Austin on 29.
29th Street.
Then on Sundays we do the Pedernales Farmers Market, and then the third Sunday of every month we do Buda.
Buda.
And then we want to get back to the Hill Country Galleria Market in Bee Caves because
Yeah.
we were there for a while, and Richie wants us to come back. But right now it's just Christy and me, and so we're going to try to squeeze them in as well. But eventually I'm going to have to actually
Because they're
hire
every
people.
Sunday? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about online? Can you buy it online?
No, you
Totally
can't-
buy
you
it
can
online. All sizes are available online. And at Good Things Grocery in Martindale,
Okay.
and at the Hoekstra Brothers in Spicewood.
Yeah, you mentioned those, and we'll link them
Okay.
in the podcast just so people can find it. But like, obviously, if you're on Instagram, you can probably find all this stuff out. Is it all on there?
It's all on Instagram.
Yeah, or your website.
Yeah, and everything's on the website. The history, the health benefits of all the ingredients, recipes.
And so, are you like a health nut?
We've always eaten clean.
Yeah.
So I don't like to eat I don't like to eat anything with a bunch of junk in it.
Like-
If I can't read the
Yeah.
ingredients
Right.
and forget about palm oil, I'm not doing that, or any kind of high fructose corn syrup,
Oh, yeah.
or any kind of fake sugar thing.
Yeah. So no
She's
drive-through.
slow food.
No drive-through.
No.
No.
So you're not
When was
putting
the
this on
last
your
time?
McDonald's
'Cause
burger?
I don't even know what McDonald's is. Although you could, and it'd probably taste better because,
Probably
like I
good.
said, Mama's even makes icky stuff
You
taste
did.
good.
I'd put it on I dip my chicken nuggets in there.
There you go.
Dude,
Oh, it
that's
is
a-
good with chicken nuggets.
Oh my, that's
make
a
my
great
own
idea.
chicken.
I have a confession. I like nuggets.
I like nuggets.
I do make my own, but I do too.
Yeah. Very cool. I don't know what's going off here, but I don't know. Something's
It's in there.
vibrating. Oh, okay. It's okay though, right? Something's vibrating. Somebody's vibrating. We're okay though.
I turned it off.
No, people are. When you're a garlic fan, you are a garlic.
Oh,
fan.
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no
die
way
hard.
out of that hole, right?
Well,
And anybody who says they don't like garlic, it's like garlic makes everything better.
it does. And it's so healthy. It's full of so many health benefits.
And you think about all of the different things that you can do with garlic. You know what I mean? You can roast it. You can fry it. You
Oh.
can ferment it. You can keep it raw. You can all of it.
All of it. Oh, and let me tell you, if y'all have ever had garlic ice cream, we were at the Stinky Rose in San Francisco.
Oh, I wanted to ask about that exactly.
Man, it's so
Is
good.
that like your
they use the
haven?
black?
Like,
No, I didn't have the black back then. This is again back in the 90s. And so
have you been there?
I have not.
Well, you've heard all about it.
No.
it's
Oh, well,
so
tell.
good.
Let's fill
The
people
Stinky
in.
Rose?
Okay, the Stinky Rose.
I
in San
wanted to ask
Francisco.
you about this.
I mean, I guess it's still there. I hadn't really checked on it in a couple
Is
of
that
years.
the name of the ice cream shop?
It's
Stinky Rose?
a restaurant.
Oh, it's a restaurant.
And then they serve garlic ice cream for dessert.
What?
And it's roasted garlic. And you know
Yeah.
how roasted garlic also has a sweetness.
Oh, yeah. It brings out the sweetness for sure. Mm-hmm.
So that ice cream is so good.
Wait, are we thinking that everything in that restaurant is garlic, right?
Yes,
Okay, yes.
Is that why they call it the Stinky Rose?
I think so.
Yeah, because the bud.
So everything you order.
From what I remember, again, this
No,
is
no, no.
back in the
This
90s.
is. It's funny because I've heard of that place.
Oh.
And I wanted to ask you about it.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's still around.
Well, I
looking
know.
it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Stinking Rose, everything garlic.
There you go. And if you look at the menu, every single that's
A
the
garlic
place.
restaurant.
That's the place. Yes. That's cool that you've been there. Like that's like heaven for you, right?
Oh, gosh. Absolute heaven.
Like, what would you think about like a Mamo's brick and mortar with like that
Wow.
concept? What do you think about that?
I don't know. That's a good question. I hadn't really given it any thought.
It'd be kind of cool.
Well, now it's going
I
to be
could
better.
definitely see. Yeah, well, I can definitely see a brick and mortar. I mean, like you would use this on everything.
I think I would use it on absolutely. I keep thinking right now. I keep thinking like grilled, like sourdough bread, right? Coming straight off of the heat and just rubbing this on there.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
it. You know, because when you take the garlic and you rub it on the bread when it comes off of the heat, it's like
Yes.
the most amazing thing ever. But this,
Yeah. It's
And
already
it
done.
Also, it makes a good garlic bread instead of using butter. So for like people who are
Don't want
vegans
butter,
or
yeah.
don't want butter, spread that on, maybe a little parsley, maybe a little oregano, broil it. So yummy.
Right.
or fried thyme. Fried
Oh,
thyme.
yeah. Oh, gosh. Look at y'all know all this good stuff. I need some of y'all's recipes.
But talk to this gentleman. I only know how
I
to
like
sear a
food.
steak. He does like food. Well, look. So I'm curious. I know you're out of Lockhart, but like Lockhart, Austin, it's all relative. Where are your favorite spots to eat?
Well, let's see. I have so many. I'm a huge Tex-Mex fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Nothing
I've had
wrong.
a couple of there are a couple of places that make like fannies, load off fannies in Lockhart. It's a hamburger joint,
Okay.
and they make their hamburgers with black.
Oh yeah, they mix it in the
Oh
meat.
yeah.
Actually, they tried it several different ways, and they found out that the tastiest way and the one to highlight the sauce the best was to after you take the meat off the grill
Right.
and before you put on top of the cheese while it's still really hot, you just brush that over and then it melts down into it.
The heat. Oh. And also black garlic aioli.
Oh, hadn't tried that. And you know what's funny that you mentioned that
That
because
sounds good.
I just thought about that a year ago. I thought, I can make aioli with the gold.
That's perfect.
But
Yeah.
I've had it all these years, and it never occurred to
I
me.
mean, it's like ready for aioli, but I mean,
Totally.
black garlic
I
aioli.
that. I like that.
I mean, it seems it's so good, and like I feel like this is going to be a funny podcast to listen to because like it's a lot of because we're sitting with 2 open jars of this.
It smells like garlic in here.
But like even making an aioli, I would be like, why? Just spread it right on there.
I mean, French fries.
So good on French fries.
Like black garlic aioli. What you do is you do French fries. You do 2 French fries. Like
I could see
thick
black
cut
garlic
French fries,
aioli, yeah.
and then you get a garlic aioli and a black garlic aioli. So you have 2 sauces.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
a good idea. I made Hasselback potatoes last night, and I did it with the black.
I love
and I
Hasselbacks.
just put. I know, right?
I did them for New Year's Eve.
Oh, they're so good. And then I just put the black in them, and then added some capers.
Nice, nice.
It's really good.
Oh yeah. Any spots out here in Austin that you? I mean, is there like a place we go to for garlic? Like, what are we thinking?
Well, they don't have Stinky Rose out here.
No, they don't. They should. Like, there should be like a garlic thing on menus.
You
Now
know,
that we're
there-
sitting here talking like
There
this,
really should be, and there isn't.
there isn't. Like, what do? You get garlic bread, or you go to Italian, right? I guess if you're going to go for garlic, you get
Oh,
something.
that's true. That's
Hey,
true.
you get Italian garlic. Garlic bread's the only thing.
Pizza.
Oh, so
Garlic
Lupin-
is not represented.
I know it's not. It's
not.
underrepresented. Lupin Lil's, which is a really good pizza joint in Austin, that's owned by a guy who used to work at Whole Foods ages ago. So a lot of people in Lockhart, not in Austin, in Lockhart.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people in Lockhart or Austin,
Oh, they escaped.
yeah,
Exactly.
but they did.
We're building the wall around Austin right now. Yeah, that's the
That
old
looks
saying.
so good.
Right?
So
I guess it's not the old saying; it's the 2016 saying.
there you go. It's the newer saying.
Right.
But so Lupin Lil's uses it on their pizza.
Yeah.
The gold. Now they hadn't tried
That's
the black
genius,
yet
though.
because it's so good. Because a lot of people can't eat tomatoes and
So like a
tomato
white sauce?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
just
Ooh,
spread it on
clam
that
pie
pizza.
with this.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. No, so many
saying.
uses. That's like, that's like a one night stand right there. That's going away.
It's,
Well, I know. I'm just
it is.
sorry I
It's
didn't
going
have
home with
larger
me.
jars to bring, but I will send you some. And then Wahoo's Seafood.
Oh, yeah, they're gone. That was, and you know what?
No. What?
They were gone. They're on the Wahoo's turned into Holy Roller, and now Holy Roller's gone now too.
Well, Wahoo's is back because I do the markets with them.
Oh,
And
so they had a brick and mortar.
yeah, and I don't know where it is. I just know that I spoke with the owner at the last market that we did.
Wahoo's?
Yeah, WAHOO.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said he has a store and a restaurant, and he wants to. He asked me. Well, he wants to use the gold as a shrimp dip.
On Lamar. Okay, so I was under the impression that Wahoo's just closed down. So they must have moved.
I never heard of them until I met them at the market.
Have you heard of Holy Roller?
No.
So Holy Roller was. It's like unfortunate. Like Holy Roller was a very popular
was
brunch
incredible.
spot. Yeah. But Wahoo's was there, and then Holy Roller moved in there, and it's crazy that Holy Roller's not there. They've been on Food Network right?
Holy Roller was on
Diners, drive-ins, and dives.
something-
Yeah.
The zombie apocalypse really messed up a lot of
It
stuff.
did, but that's really cool that Wahoo's is actually still around. So Wahoo's is on Lamar, and they're at the market too, and he's putting it on his tacos?
Well, he wants to use it as a dip for like shrimp
Okay,
and
cool.
crawfish and
That's
stuff like
perfect.
that. Oh, totally. And then at the Pedernales market,
Yeah.
he is going to cook shrimp that's been brushed with the Mamo. So he'll grill it and then hand them out for samples.
Oh, yeah. Also, mud bugs out in Buda.
Oh, I just dropped them off. And also,
At Mud Bugs?
yeah,
Oh, we should.
I met the two owners, and
Jeff Parks?
I don't remember their names. I
Yeah.
have a terrible memory. Have you
We
met
should-
me yet?
We should call him.
So I dropped them off. The guy who's usually behind the bar, but I met both the owners.
Yeah.
And I dropped them off some jars.
Today?
When it was last time we were in Buda, so a
Okay,
couple of
cool.
weeks ago. And then Los Olivos.
Oh,
don't know
yeah,
if that's how you
right
say
there.
it.
Yeah, this would be a shoe-in right there.
I dropped some off with him, and he just texted me today.
Cool. There
So,
you go.
yeah.
I like that. It's like a little nook right there.
Yes, I really like it.
It's very nice.
I like the Buda market. It has a really good vibe.
Yeah, yeah. It's and that's actually that whole strip has a couple there's like a pizza place down the way there.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even explore, but I need to do that.
Yeah. If you just head north, I guess you'd be heading north then. I think it's on 967. But there's like a pizza place, and there's a couple other restaurants down there too.
Okay, I'm going to check
But
them out.
Mudbugs is awesome. We'll put a bug in his.
I wanna
Put a bug in his.
I want to make crawfish. I want to make crawfish with the butter sauce with this in there, and just dump it all over the top of the crawfish.
Listen, I made some crab fingers from Wahoo's. Well, I didn't make them. I bought some crab fingers
Right.
from Wahoo's the other day. I mixed the gold with lemon juice and melted butter. Oh, it was so good.
That's what happens when you have a product like this. You'll get other people's food and bring it home and be like, I got the sauce. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't need your mayonnaise. I got this.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
and one of the sad things about the zombie apocalypse, well, there are many sad things, but we used to be able to actually cook in our demos at the farmers
Oh,
markets.
now you can't.
No. You can't unless you're an actual restaurateur or cooker person with a license. But all I can do now is in our kitchen make little samples to hand out. Just
That have to be
Yes,
like closed
I've
up
gotten
and
those.
covered.
closed up, but we can't have bread. We can't have any of that because we used to, for instance, at the Hill Country Galleria Market, we would cook out there and I would use Johnson's Backyard organic veggies. And I loved the Mizuna and the dandelion leaves. And this is what
the
I'm
bitter
saying.
lettuces.
Oh, this is what I'm saying though, because I always thought that stuff was kind of icky.
Right.
And the rainbow shard and some others, and you just cook it in the gold. That's what I did. And mushrooms, I'd cook it in the gold in the pan.
Mushrooms.
Kids were eating it,
Yeah.
and parents were buying it and rushing down to buy the exact same vegetables. So because kids, you can't taste, it just tastes like the garlic sauce. You can't taste
Right.
the bitterness of the veggies.
Yeah.
So Johnson's Backyard said that they had never sold more dandelion greens than they did while I was cooking. And I love to do the
JBG.
cross demos. I mean, we did that with Ranger Cattle.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm good friends with those guys.
Love their meat.
Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cole. He was at the market as
Yeah.
well. So we would do that with Ranger Cattle. I did that with Terra Parizza pork. I didn't get to do that because we're in the zombie apocalypse, but it would be nice to be able to use, again, all of the vendors' food and cross demo.
So what about for restaurants? Are you in any restaurants?
We're not in any restaurants right now. We were invited to the TRA restaurant marketplace.
Yeah.
And
That's expensive, right? Yeah.
And then, and plus you have to be invited. But anyway, we were invited and we did all our payments and stuff. And then they postponed it, zombie apocalypse.
Are you? Oh, yeah.
Well, and then it was just virtual. So
Oh,
I know.
God. How can you? No.
I applaud them for giving it a shot.
Sure.
But it didn't have the same effect. Plus, you've got a lot of restaurants who don't know what they're doing, who are, moving to a new model of restaurant. They're not doing the same kind of thing
Right.
that they were, where restaurants are buying, half a gallon size or a gallon size. I mean, it's everything. There's just been a huge paradigm shift in the industry.
Yeah. Have you been to the TRA show?
I have been to TRA.
I
I've
can't
been to-
imagine doing because
You
how
can't do it.
How?
I mean, I don't think it's possible.
You
I mean,
walk around, you're there doing it all day.
Like I went to the NRA like 4 years ago in Chicago.
I always think you're talking about the rifles.
And everything's rifle. What's restaurant?
Oh, the
National Restaurant.
You see? Okay.
Right? And it's over 9 city blocks at the convention center there. Right, 9 city blocks, and there's 250,000 people there, and thousands and thousands and thousands of booths, and they've got everything restaurant. So I don't understand how that could be a virtual experience. Because
Well,
you got to
no.
taste the stuff,
No.
you got to see the stuff, you got to smell the stuff.
We're not giving them a hard time.
No.
I'm just thinking out loud.
No. And I agree. I applaud what they did and that they still gave it a shot.
Right. But it's just not a thing.
It's not. We had to.
You can't sell your product.
It's
No.
really. I mean, we did. We had it.
Did you
This
have to
sells it
pay
right
the
here.
same
This sells
fee?
it right here.
Oh,
Did you have to pay the same fee? Oh my God!
I know.
That sucks.
It
Did it
suck.
do any? Did it give you any value?
No.
Sorry.
That sucks.
I mean, several restaurants were interested, and I sent them samples. See, that was the other thing. You could send.
It can be a really good thing to be in there. Yeah.
I know you could send samples, but we would have had to send 2,000 samples.
Oh, to get them to everybody before the.
Yes. So we just sent the paperwork.
Can you imagine that? No.
So and then I said, if you in the paperwork, I was like, if you want, samples,
As a chef,
let me know.
As a chef, though, going through 70 boxes of samples while I'm trying to watch the video.
Yes, that's what I'm
drive me
thinking
crazy.
too.
Yeah.
You'd be
I
like,
don't
you
think it was
just
real
need
successful.
to find this, and then you'll be happy. Like, 'cause that is happiness.
But if I was at the booth and you had this and I dunked some bread in it or some hot pizza or whatever, I'd probably be like, I need that.
Oh,
Exactly.
listen, when we were at the, twice we were invited to the Fancy Food Show in New York. This is in the 90s
That's a good
again.
one.
It's a real good one. But yeah, when people taste it, I mean, shoot, Japan, some store in Japan bought 100 cases from us. And also some other, like in the British Virgin Islands or somewhere. But I mean, and then several other stores picked
for
us
jerk.
up.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, the black.
Yes.
So, but anyway, so a lot of people picked us up, but that's because they got to try it.
Nice. Yeah.
And it's like for a while there, we couldn't even do samples that were in closed little thingies. So when we were at the markets, I would ask people, would you like to try some Mamo's garlic sauce? And they would say, sure. And I'd say, well, you can't because we're in the zombie apocalypse.
Right.
But let me tell you about it. But that doesn't even have the same ring as letting them taste it.
Yeah.
It's not even.
There's nothing like it.
No, I mean, you can't substitute that.
And I really like the like, I don't know, the almonds really give it something special.
I know.
I mean,
They do.
who would have thought of that?
Who knows?
job.
I mean, I guess I did. Thank you. But I have had people ask me, well, why are you using almonds? Why can't you use pecans? Or why can't you use sprouted almonds? Or why can't you use this? And I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. This is my recipe.
I mean, there could be in the future different iterations, right?
You know what? Yes, there could be.
Yeah, I mean, with growth and like with when it's an option to just throw in try pecans or whatever.
Like go the Nutella style, like you were saying, and black garlic hazelnut.
Hazelnut, that's funny, dude. You could look at that.
Wow, no kidding.
I like that.
Yeah,
Come up with a
that's
name
my
now.
favorite part of the Nutella.
Gartella. Good.
Gartella. Shh, delete this part.
Right. Beep. Radio edit. But so no encounters with vampires. You're good there.
Oh, well, if you'll look at the back page of my
Back-
cookbook,
Oh, there's the vampire.
Mama's garlic sauce is so good that even vampires
Even
like
vampires
it.
like
Vampire
it.
tested, vampire
I
approved.
love it. Once you eat it.
And really, so that is funny. But I'm sort of joking, thinking like, so your immune has to be pretty good, because garlic is very healthy.
My daughter is 24, and other than a couple of allergy situations, she's never been sick.
Well, that's good.
I don't get sick because we eat these wonderful things.
Right.
And garlic, I'm steeped in garlic. I live, breathe, and eat and sleep and everything else.
No mosquitoes.
Unfortunately, Texas mosquitoes,
Texas State bird.
yeah. And they've had the Mamos and they like it too.
Oh, it's like a mosquito. Love it.
So that's a problem.
Well, so any other restaurants that we should shout out that you like
Oh,
to go visit to? Sorry,
You
change.
said Tex-Mex. What's your favorite taco?
Oh, okay. There you go.
well, my
There's-
favorite Tex-Mex place is El Caribe on
Okay.
North Lamar.
Yeah.
My favorite
Have you been there?
taco,
Okay.
their margaritas are the bomb diggity. And their food.
Margaritas are full of calories. I've just learned all this.
You did not know
You got to
that?
get the skinny.
I guess you don't think about it, right?
Because it's a drink.
It's just yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it's totally full of calories, but I don't care. I love
It's
them.
like a Coca-Cola.
I think it's way more than a
It's-
Coca-Cola.
yeah, I think so.
It's like
Was it as much as a
600
rodeo
calories.
clown?
No, I think it's like double.
but a margarita is better for you than a Coke.
Yeah. Well, any like Coke, like all that is no, not good, not good. No Coke or pop soda, pop.
Or Coke. What kind of Coke do you want, Dr. Pepper?
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Like
Household
It's a
name.
Texas thing, I think.
Dr. Pepper.
I want a Coke. What kind? So anyways, back
Yes.
to tacos.
So my favorite taco is the street taco with the pulled pork, but there's a word for that, and I can't remember.
Carnitas.
That.
Carnita.
Carnitas.
That's my very favorite
You
taco.
should put some of this black garlic on your carnitas way.
It's funny because, right, you can just put it on everything. Let's just put
On
it out there.
everything.
Everything.
And,
What
and
wouldn't you put it on? I mean,
I
you
said I put it on ice cream earlier.
I did say fruit.
because
And
I'm thinking I got berries down there. I mean, it could probably go with everything.
I've got some customers who dip their bananas in the gold.
It's funny.
I know. Hadn't tried that one yet.
It does have a peanut butter consistency.
It
I could
does.
see just being like, well, let's just try that.
It's almost like almond butter with.
Well, that's funny that you say that because almonds actually is the main ingredient. And somebody asked me why I didn't call it almond paste,
All right.
but I don't, first of all, I don't know why I always thought of it as a garlic sauce.
It is a garlic sauce.
But
Tastes
yeah,
like
because it
garlic.
tastes like garlic.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Almond paste, I don't think would have worked very well.
I don't know. There was a craze, right? Because people got really into almond milk. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it could have.
Yeah, but see, don't forget this was back in the 90s. People didn't know Jack
But there's
Taco
already
about.
almond paste, marzipan.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
So anyway, and people have even said, "Why do you call this a sauce?" And they try to pour it out, and it's like, I don't know, that's what I'm calling it.
Well, this one will pour out, right? Oh, no, I guess it won't. I guess it just looks like that, right?
It just looks like that. I mean, it will eventually drip out onto your head if you keep doing that.
I was hoping so.
That was the mayonnaise test. If you're going to make the mayo, you got to
Oh yeah, the
by hand,
aioli. Yep.
you got to whip it together and hold it above your head.
There you
If
go.
it falls on your head, it's not
failed.
there yet.
You're not quite there.
Well, so the book online, or pick it up at one of the farmers markets. You're bringing them there, I'm sure.
Yes, I have them at the farmers markets.
And you can get on your social media, right? Mamo's Garlic. You'll be
Yes,
tagged
I'm
there.
on Facebook and Instagram. That's about it for me.
I think that's where you need to be, right?
Yeah.
And now
know.
you'll be on YouTube's after this.
Oh, and I do have a cooking video on YouTube.
There we go.
But I think it's under Michelle Dean instead
send
of
it to
Mamo's.
us.
Yeah,
Okay.
send it to us. We'll tag you.
Okay.
And it's Instagram Mamos MAMOS _garlic _sauce.
Sorry, last question here. Why Mamos?
Good question.
Indeed.
I've been wanting to ask this for the whole podcast.
And it's so funny because a lot of people ask me that question.
Sure.
When
Should we keep it a secret?
no, it's
tell
not.
us off
It's not
air?
a secret. It's
Oh,
on the
okay.
website.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's in my first cookbook,
Okay. All right.
which I might add, I found about a year ago on Amazon. My cookbook that was free with 2 proofs of purchase.
Oh yeah.
Somebody was trying to sell their copy on Amazon for $250.
Oh, it's like limited
and
edition.
it said signed by the creator. Well, except for I signed and we made copies, so it's not like I signed every one,
That's
But anyway,
awesome.
I thought that was funny. And there's
You
still,
bought it, right?
Yeah, there are still a couple of other, like on Abe's Antique Books or something. There's still a
That's
couple
hilarious.
of out there of the original. But so when we were trying to come up with a name for my product, I was coming up with some real stinkeroonies. I mean, I thought Simple Elegance, and Brian was like, no, that sounds like craft. And I said, well, your nickname is Bruno. What about Mrs. Bruno's? And he said, that sounds like a hairy armed Italian woman. We just-
It does.
I know. And so I went through all these others, and he said, why don't we just call it Mamo? So Mamo is the name, since I was the firstborn, I got to call my grandma and grandpa whatever came out of my mouth. And Mamo is what I called my maternal grandma.
Wow.
And so he said, let's call it Mamo's because that's a really neat name and it's soft and it, gets people's interest.
Yeah.
So I called her, it's my recipe, but I called her and said, do you care if I use Mamo's as my product name? And she was super jazzed about that.
She's like, you're going to name your sauce after me?
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
I like that. I do like
Legacy.
Indeed.
that. Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming out here to do the podcast.
Well, thank you for having me.
I think you might need to bring Christy.
Okay. I will certainly do that.
Come in for another
Yeah,
episode.
it'd be fun. We could cook.
We could.
Now, I'm down and jiggy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this.
I like it too. That
We can make a
sounds-
video.
Oh, yes.
I like all this. So, Christy, she's not getting out of this one.
Okay.
I think she's got something to put in here.
And I
I
think
do too.
Yeah.
I think the podcast should be in the kitchen because we talked about how many preparations of food did we talk about with this? We could
Oh my-
make aioli.
like-
we could
It
make
is.
all-
It's crazy.
whole thing.
We should talk to JBG.
Yeah.
We should get some produce.
we could talk to
Ranger Cattle.
Ranger Cattle.
We should get some.
meat.
Talk to them.
Oh, yeah. And if you tell Cole what we're doing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
because he loves the Mamos.
Yeah.
Sure.
Same with Johnson's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What Okay.
And,
So
and Texas gourmet pasta, if we wanted to do pasta, they're all down and jiggy with it.
I think we're going to make this happen in the near future. So people stay tuned for that because I think that could be a lot of fun. I mean, there's so many options, and we should maybe do it like that.
We'll make a video
Or we just like
cookbook.
I think that sounds great.
yeah. So Christy, be ready. There's her ghost mic.
Hear
right
that,
there.
Christy? There she is. She's ready.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to tell her.
Well, cool though. But thank you, and
Well,
this is awesome.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely.
Michelle, it was wonderful.
We'll do it again soon.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
All right, cheers, guys.